Did you see it?
It'll be okay. Will. All right. Okay. Will. I should be so excited to do this one. All right.
We have to spread out to make it look like there's a lot of us. One time I was the only summer crowd and I was too hot waiting in my home. I remember it all years ago. I can't. This is outside
See, I think your personality.
It's a sample of his carrot cake.
Oh, my
Oh my gosh.
And is it?
Well, I have to have a little something.
But I still have
I get to try further. I'm sorry.
That's gladly.
Oh, it's kind of cold in here.
That's your birthday cake?
Well, you have to take these.
No, my birthday was back in May. Yeah. Right here.
I'd like to have a picture of your birthdays. I mean, 2 seconds.
Oh, well, I made the 28th. 23rd? No, my son is here. Yeah, he's May 13th.
It's like the name is
Doesn't that have a lot to do with what you guys are doing? Summer before. That was saying like that. Was
no, I don't need to be.
Really?
Yes.
Did you tell her that?
And she is still, so she was home by herself when we worked on her lawn.
Oh, like him on a purpose.
I was going through, it's not to the and she ended up finding somebody who could what? She found somebody who could do it less money.
For a while.
That's when they felt her number. Because I think, you know, like, it's such a girl time. That's why.
Brett's very nervous for this too.
So it means it won't shut up.
Have you been in the house?
Like the one in the building who doesn't.
See, I don't have a lot of faith in people who have chocolate cake and don't have it with milk. Really. It's like you have to have cola with pizza.
Chocolate. Chocolate. Thank you. I am.
And this, it's very wooded in the back. There's an above ground pool, which we're going to tear down. Stay. Yeah, and it looks a little, but if we put like some decking around it, some landscaping, it would look a lot better. All things we done is the back.
How was your boy?
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't the next door neighbor. Oh, yeah. It's a little bit sooner than we went like, oh, nothing.
I have missed the last two sales, the last 2 weekends. The only good thing about that is because I miss a couple of years, turnover
We'll definitely have to come down.
entirely new stuff.
It's really just like, exactly what we want to be. And so we were just driving around and most houses are like, yeah, let's start low and then right back up.
No,
Leave my pool alone.
especially in hospitals.
Grab you an 8-round pool, it's like, what would it cost to fill it?
Well, the meeting to order. I'd like to begin the public session by having a moment of silence for Becky Dabrowski, who passed away after the last board meeting. So we have not had an opportunity to give her a moment of silence. Thank you. We have 2 resolutions coming out of executive session. The first is BOE 12. Be it resolved that the board hereby approves the terms of the memorandum of agreement with the KTF dated July 6, 2016, as presented to the board at this meeting regarding the extension of a contractual deadline. A copy of said MOA shall be incorporated by reference within the minutes of this meeting.
So moved.
Discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, the second resolution, BOE 11. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of Dr. Paul J. Catalino, Superintendent of Schools, that the Board of Education hereby engages the services of SBN Deegan Collins Commercial Realty as real estate broker for the sale of 2 properties as follows. 1, property located at 1372 Old Post Road, Esopus, New York. And 2, property located at 61 Crown Street and 156 to 162 Green Street, Kingston, New York, during the period from June 17, 2016 through June 17, 2017, and authorizes the board president to execute 2 exclusive right to sell agreements with SVN Deegan Collins Commercial Realty, a copy of which agreements shall be incorporated by reference within the minutes of this meeting. Entertained motion? Second. Discussion? All
Well, that's
those,
the only discussion is that. I want to make clear,
Microphone.
the building is not necessarily for sale. Right?
yes.
Crown Street.
We have not opened up bids. This is strictly a contract with the commercial realtor. So we have a commercial realtor employed now by the district for the purposes of selling those 2 properties, but we haven't opened up bids at this point. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carried. And we have now reached that portion of the meeting where we're waiting for a wonderful new film from District Happenings.
And it's a little bit of a remix tonight. I'm calling this District Happenings Greatest Hits, with a look back at this past school year, as well as some of our moving up ceremonies and graduation. And the vocals are provided by Naima Mackerel, who is a graduating senior this year.
Thank you.
match similar to Corinth and Catherine. Ahora, mi nombre es Mario Westheim I'm so excited to see Mrs. Daw. She was my kindergarten teacher, and I'm excited to hug her and show her what I've become. I love her class. I love all the little animals that she had in there. Oh, she knows that. Well, let's go to my twin. We have the same birthday.
Thank you very much. That was a nice look back at the year. Very nice. It says district recognitions, but we did that at the beginning. But we have another. So,
We just have one other district recognition, and this is from our New York State School Boards Association School Board U, and it's the Board Achievement Award for attending and participating in leadership development and training, and that goes to Danielle Guido. That is all on board recognitions.
okay, we've now reached the portion of the meeting where we welcome public participation. If you would like to address the board, please approach the microphone and speak directly into it so that our friends at home who are watching the live stream can hear you. You're limited to 2 minutes, and our board clerk will alert you when you're approaching the 2 minutes. It's not a conversation. All right, seeing nobody. We'll move on to superintendent's, first, approval of minutes from June 15th. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 15th.
So moved.
Okay. Any corrections or amendments to minutes? All those in favor of approving the minutes from June 15th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm abstaining because I was absent.
So you're abstaining. All right, those are approved. And now, I'd like to turn the floor over to the superintendent for the superintendent's report.
Okay, to start for superintendent's report tonight, I will invite Mr. Clapper to come up and give his second century project report.
Hello, everyone. Everything's going well at the high school. We've entered into the second phase. We are at the fit-up package for Salzman. We let about $37 million worth of contracts in the last 2 weeks. Everybody's on board. All the credentials have been checked, all the insurances, all the bonds, everything is really good. And what's even better is that it was about $10 million under our estimate for the construction. So we're under budget and currently on time with everything that's going on at the high school. The field house is moving right along. Uh-oh, there we go. The field house, the glass is in the field house now. All the lights are on, as you can see through the glass. The Nijiha panels that you see there, the cream color and gold color, had to be removed from the building and put back on the building. That's all complete except for a few little pieces up at the top. The gas service that took, I don't know, 10 months to get together is now completely put in and tested. All the air handlers on the roof are working, all the boiler room stuff is working, all the mechanical stuff is installed and going. I tried to get 2 shots of this, but there's plastic on the front window of it. This is the new concession stand in the lobby of the field house. So instead of having a little table in the corner during a basketball game on the gym floor, there's actually a concession stand. The gentleman there is standing in front of where the sink is going to be. There's going to be a little sink and a little refrigerator in that corner. The rest is granite countertops through a pass-through for food service. This is the completed wrestling room. 100% done, floor's done, the windows are in, lights are on, everything's working there. Over to the East Addition, the brick, this is the west side of the East Addition. All the brick is on that side. The south side is just about completed. They're halfway down the east side of the building, and the rest of the building is prepped for brick. On the west side, all the steel is up. We had a ceremony. Lots of folks got up there and signed the beam. It's the last beam on the right-hand side on the top floor. The steel workers are putting decks on right now, and we'll be pouring the slabs for that in about 2 to 3 weeks. This is the distance between Tobin Winston and the new building, and that's a little Bobcat. The Bobcat's about 6 feet wide. So what they were working on today actually was there was a covered sidewalk there, and they're working on taking that down so they can build a scaffolding with a roof on it for exiting and all that to do that side of the building. At the very far end between the 2 buildings, there's about 17 feet. So kind of close. People in those classrooms are going to be able to look right out there and see everybody on construction. That's
going
what
to take that down.
Yeah.
How they take down Winston Tobin?
I have no idea. They have people who are very good at it.
That's what I'm right.
What they've been talking about, the demolition guy that's taking down MJM, we don't know who's going to take down Tobin Winston because it's second phase, but he's talking about doing it from the inside out. They're going to take everything out and then remove the middle and then have it all fall in on itself and then take it away from there. So that might be another photo op, Kate.
Yes, get
Kate's on that.
So this is the decking on the steel on the west side. And that's a look out from the library window. That's standing on the floor in the library, taking a picture out the window. So again, those kids in the library are going to have a lot to look at this fall. As far as the project is moving along, everything's going well, and I just wanted to let everybody know that that's not the only thing happening in the district. This is a short list of everything that's happening this summer. We've got a few other projects that we're looking to fund and move forward, but the Dietz doors are just about 90% complete. We're building offices at Chambers right now, one in the office, one in the hallway for reading recovery. Stage lighting at Bailey, the old panel box, every time they went to dim the lights, it would spark, and when we started taking the lights down, the baked-on enamel was actually burnt inside the light, so that's an important thing that we're doing there for safety. Stage curtains at Edson and Bailey, refinishing the gym floors at Edson and JFK. We're going right down to the wood. We're doing all new lines, all new finish there. We have a temporary office walls at MJM in the guidance office. At the 11th and a half hour, Mr. Olson put together a little package for blacktop at Meyer, Crosby, and George Washington. That's on state OGS bid, so we were able to do it quite rapidly. We didn't have to go out to bid for that. We have just received some new whiteboard material. Instead of having hard boards, it's actually coming on a roll now. So we have enough material to do about 80 whiteboards in the district, and we're hoping to get quite a bit of those done this summer. By state mandate, we have to put in CO detectors district-wide. I think we're putting in 172 CO detectors throughout the district. There's a new water meter being put in at Graves, mandated by the water district over there. And we're prepping for the playground at Graves. And that's pretty much what we're doing this summer. A few other things here and there, but we're moving along. And if you have any questions? Oh, one other thing. There at this time, there's no change orders on the project of any significance. There's a few out there for $3,000 and $4,000, but nothing that needs board approval on. And now that we're out of the ground, I see that we're not going to see too many big ones for a while. So, do you have any questions?
Maybe it was discussed, but do we have a rescheduled board tour date for the?
We talked about it, and I don't know that we ever get in dates.
I was going to talk about it when we got
Okay.
to board business, at the end, new business for the board, because we want to arrange for a tour before the next meeting.
Before the next board meeting.
A tour of the project.
We're open for business every day. Come on over.
Please.
I know Tom gave Mr. Clark gave a list of things they're going to do, but I think not lose sight of the fact that his guys and the women in the department are out there getting our schools, clean, getting the floors done, getting everything done, getting ready for September, which is, I think we take it for granted that these things just get done during the summer, but that it's we go through the buildings while they're working, while they're pulling all the furniture out, waxing all the floors, and cleaning everything, and doing all the repairs that need to be done. So while there's a list there, there's plenty that the custodians and cleaners and the maintenance people are doing in our buildings just to get us ready. So I think they deserve a lot of credit because we watch them do it and we know what really goes into it. So we appreciate their work.
Thank you.
I know I say this every time you get up there, but it is so exciting to see that. And it's just, I was at the CALC meeting at the end of the school year and we had to walk all the way around and we couldn't walk through. But in that process, everyone was excitedly talking about how we had to walk all the way around because of the construction and they were looking at it and people were so excited and it was just so great to hear.
I took a couple days off and I came back. I was gone for 5 days, and just in those 5 days, what was accomplished, it's a truly amazing process.
It's a really amazing one.
I always turn it on. Thank you very much.
I just have one more thing to discuss relatively briefly. I know this is, we put out a press release on this information, and I know I've sent this to the board, and my apologies to Mrs. Jordan, it was before you came on, so I didn't get it to you, but I'll copy you on this, what I sent to the board back on the 25th. Just to give you an update on our graduation data for the subgroup, for by subgroup for 2011 cohort. And I gave, just to give some comparison, our overall district graduation rate was 85.17. I'm sorry, let me go back. It was 84.61. In new data. So that was our overall. Our black students' graduation rate was 75.86, which is an increase from last year of 70.93, which that was an increase of 19 percentage points. So you're looking at almost 25 percentage points increase over the last 2 years. Our Hispanic students' graduation rate was 78.33. That's up from 73.9 last year, which was also a significant jump last year. So we're looking at a more than 20% increase, 20 percentage points increase in our black students, our Hispanic students' graduation rate. We did see a small drop in our Asian students' graduation rate from 100% last year to 93.75 this year. Again, a subgroup that is small, that one student either way has a significant impact on those numbers. Our multiracial students, which we have more students classifying or identifying as multiracial in the district, was 86.67 graduation rate, which is up from 77.81 last year. Economically disadvantaged, another area where we saw a significant increase last year of almost 20 percentage points, up from 72.25 to 77.1%, which is going to, so that puts us in that whole 25 percentage point increase again. Students with disabilities. There's been a conversation, a focus of our administration for several years. We've been mired between 47 and 53% for probably more than a decade. A lot of focus of the team, with Mr. Burge and his team and the teaching and learning team, a lot of focus with Kirk Reinhardt and his team at Kingston High School. The students with disabilities graduation rate for the cohort 2011 was 73%. That's up from 47% last year. I do want to put a asterisk here because I think a lot of people will say, oh, that's because of the new regulation that allows special education students to graduate without the full, with different requirements. That is the graduation rate prior to the calculation of students who will be able to graduate with the new regulations. Again, I think we only had one or two in that area, but that's not including the implementation of the new regulations. That's students who met the current graduation criteria. So again, I think, I talk about it all the time, and the board knows that and the administration, this is kind of what I talk about. From program records, graduate, graduate, graduate. And the message is being heard. Our teams are doing a great job working with our students, making sure they get everything they need. And I think Mr. Reinhardt and I were talking about it. He said, I think the most important thing about this entire process is it's really just about knowing the kids. Knowing the kids and knowing what they need. And that's what we're doing. Very proud, and congratulations to everyone.
I would just like to congratulate you and congratulate the team. This is so exciting. And when I was rerunning for the board last year, I talked about being proud to be on a team that's on an upward trajectory. We certainly are. And it's just really gratifying to be part of that. And between these statistics and knowing where we're headed and seeing the capital project, I'm really overwhelmed by the amount of work and overwhelmed with gratitude for everything that everybody does every day. And I'm so appreciative for everything that's happening in our community. So thank you.
Any other comments?
Say ditto to that. It is very, very exciting to see what's happening. And I have a saying I use all the time, let's maintain the game, increase the momentum. We're going to get to 95% graduation.
Mr. DeCicco guarantees that. That's what he told me.
That's good to hear. Mr. Schultz.
So I think the increase of students with disabilities is just really overwhelming positive. And I think it's just the work that's gone on for several years, paying attention to individual students. Because I think if you pay attention to the individual students, then the percentages take care of themselves.
As I said when I first got the news, kudos to everybody. The superintendent certainly, the deputy superintendent, assistant superintendents, the directors, the teachers, the parents, and the students. What a wonderful, and building administrators, let's not forget that. What a wonderful, wonderful team. Great. Maintaining momentum.
That concludes the superintendent's report.
I hate to spoil them. Next series of continuing. We have two consent agendas this evening. The first is the reorganizational resolutions consent agenda. Are there any resolutions any trustee would like to pull from the reorganizational consent agenda? Hearing nothing, I'll accept a motion. Accept the reorganizational consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the reorganization consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, we're moving on to the consent agenda. Regular consent agenda, beginning with question and personnel. Everybody have that? Are there any resolutions on the regular consent agenda that anyone would like pulled? to accept the regular consent agenda. I'm sorry, I didn't see what you.
I don't want anything pulled, but I just have questions about them.
We can discuss it when after we have motion.
Okay.
Motion. So. No discussion.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
CSO1 Energy Manager, there's a stipend. I was just wondering if you could talk about what that is exactly.
Yeah, that's, we have that position every year. It's one of our head skilled mechanics who does our monitoring and well, Alan, you want to, Tom or Alan can jump in and tell that. I mean, I know what it is, but Tom can give you a better description.
So about 20 years ago, we put a building management system in that takes care of all our heating systems, cooling systems. And in the last 5 years, Johnson Control went through and put more controls on, like our building lighting and stuff like that. So it's all controlled by a Johnson Control product called Metasys. And we actually have 3 people trained on it, myself, Jimmy Dixon, and Greg Felton. And Greg Felton is the spearhead for the program. Every morning he comes in, he makes sure all the buildings are up to temperature, all the boilers are running. We can see what temperature is room by room in a lot of our buildings. Some of our buildings we can't. And then it also maintains electric. We can see how much electric we're using, so he can turn off lights, turn on lights for special events. Like if there's something at the field house tonight, he can turn on the heating for that, or cool, whatever we need. So that's what that position is for. And it's really a continuing education thing. It's a constantly growing program, and he goes for training, and he probably puts in about 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day to do it.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Not about this particular,
This week?
I've never had a question.
Well, you didn't.
On the consent agenda, but not on the energy.
Oh, okay. Consent agenda?
Yeah. So anyway, we could discuss POE 5, the interim athletic director. Just to clarify what he'll be doing and why there's an interim.
I will turn it over to Dr. Bailey.
Sure. The interim athletic director will be doing exactly that, because those are the duties of the athletic director. We have obviously a vacancy. Nation retired effective June 30th. We have posted far and wide, actually. We did not find the candidates that we had hoped that we felt would step in and do the job. We were able to secure an experienced interim who will come on for the year. Again, not just on a per diem basis and work with us, while we hopefully can either identify an internal candidate or an external candidate to move in and take the job full time, hopefully for next school year.
And can you speak at all to why you thought he was qualified to be the interim athletic director?
Oh, sure. His qualifications are, as you said, his resume, his qualifications are pretty extensive. He's retired as the assistant athletic director at Cornell. He's done interns since his retirement there in several districts, working with as an athletic director. He brings full disclosure, he's worked with me in the past, and he brings a collegiate mindset and great organizational skills and systems understandings to the job, and I think he'll help us get organized, as well as help us search and then maybe move along some people into the position, maybe help to mentor.
Great, that's great.
Any other questions?
Number 4, field 4, about committee eligibility for the program. I see that we're talking about including Edson in that. So how many schools do we have now? 4, and they are
4 schools. We have Chambers, GW, JFK, and Edson will be part of the community eligibility program, which is a program that means that all students in the building receive free lunch.
And what's the threshold for that?
The threshold is the percentage of free and reduced lunch students in the building. Now, in some buildings we don't meet quite the threshold, but we're able to supplant from the other buildings to make that happen. And again, we're slowly growing it. We don't know if we can expand it further to other buildings, but we continue to work with audit and finance in this conversation to see where we can, if we can make it even a larger program. Right now, those are the schools that qualify, given the free and reduced lunch percentage of students in these buildings.
Okay, that's great. great that we'll have that next fiscal, it'd be great to be able to expand into other departments. I mean, I'm sure there's a need in other places.
Is that's just for the school year, it doesn't cover the summer or recesses from the school?
It does not. Again, we have made arrangements with the city. We're working with the parks to make sure lunches are available this year. And we're looking at what we can do around, again, with audit and finance, we're looking at what we can do around next year, around breaks, Christmas break, spring break, and those kind of recess, to expand that even further.
And how do parents find out about the summer access to the house?
Really, we're working with the city. It's really about the city and the park and being part of the park program.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, entertain. Okay. Consent agenda. All those in favor of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye. Okay, opposed? Abstentions? All right, we have a communication here. This is something that's in the consent agenda. It was B09, and it's establishing the Montessori Peace Curriculum donations for George Washington Elementary School in memory of Becky Borowski. And we have a communication here from someone who has made the donation, and the donations will continue to be accepted. Dear friends and staff of George Washington Elementary School, please accept this donation in memory of my beautiful lifelong friend, Becky Borowski. She was the kindest soul, and I'm sure she'd want your work with students to flourish. My thoughts are with you all, Kristen Draper. So I want to stress that the peace donations for Montessori will continue to be accepted, and this was sent to the board by one of her friends who made a contribution. There are a couple of other donations. Ms. Guido, would you like to read down the donations?
We have BOE 8, accept donation for John Kennedy Elementary School, whereas the JFK Elementary School is a recipient of a generous donation from St. Mark Ann Church in the amount of $810. We're grateful for that donation. We also have BO9, accept the Montessori Peace Curriculum donation, as Nora just said. And that's all.
Thank you very much.
But
We thank those people.
appreciate what is there. That's all.
Okay, and moving along to Board of Education. Next section of the consent agenda. I got a Board of Education. And we should have a third report on finance, Mr. Shaw.
We met on June 28th. It was a brief meeting. We reviewed the claims auditor's report for May and the treasurer's reports, including the revenue and appropriations summaries. Recommend the acceptance of those reports with BOE 08 and BOE 09. I'd like to move those two resolutions.
All those in favor? Please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
We had some brief discussions about potential building project at Park. We had a discussion about Dr. Catalino already brought up the fact that the lunch program is going forward now with the City Parks Department. So I believe it's all the children that are participating in the program. So there's 4 parks. Forsyth Park is going to Edson for lunch. Hasbrook Park is going to JFK. And then Hutton Park and Lauren Park are having box lunches delivered. So we're feeding kids. We're employing cafeteria staff over the summer and getting paid to do it by the state and federal government. So it's a good proposition for us.
And the city opened up free registration for all Midtown and downtown
city as well,
Right.
right?
Mr. Carlson, how many lunches do we figure, do we see about 300?
About a million a day.
Okay, that was, those were the only, that was the only committee report for this evening. So moving on to old business. Any trustee have any old business that she would like to raise? How about new business? Yes.
I just have just one quick new business. The TNL committee, T&R committee was supposed to meet on Thursday, just tomorrow. But it's actually meeting next week, which is on the 14th at 9:30.
Any other new business?
And policy committee meeting Friday morning. Kathy will be
I
back.
think she'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
She said she would put that Friday, but I emailed her this morning to see
She
if
was
she could, I didn't change it, so I'll email.
Yes.
Since we were talking about food security, I was just wondering if there's any way that the food service in the fall can come up with a way of utilizing the food that kids have to take every part of their lunch. But if you ever watch the kids eat, lots of that is discarded. And then we have a lot of food insecure kids who don't have snacks. And I was always wondering if there was some way that we can investigate if it's possible to discard them on a table instead of in the trash.
We actually had that discussion, and right now, under the regulations.
Is there any way we can contact somebody who's in charge of those regulations?
The federal government, so.
The federal government? Okay.
I'd be happy to. But that's a good suggestion, you know, it's one that, you know, that is a thought that many of us can have, as there is a lot of waste, because they have to take so much on their tray and they don't eat it, I know. It seems like a no-brainer. Okay, any other new business? School review, something?
The tour of the high school.
Oh, okay, so we discussed it. So we need to come up with a date where everyone is free. We have 3 members absent tonight, but the 6 who are here could certainly come up with a date we can talk about.
Before the 20th?
Before the 20th.
And what time are we looking at?
It can be any time. If we start work time, what time?
We start working about 6:30. It would be more convenient for the construction site and easier to get around if it was after 3 o'clock.
After 3. So, there's also summer school in session there, so yeah, that might be better all the way around. So after 3.
Summer school at the high school or something?
Is there anyone who is going away on vacation who will not be available from the 7th through the 19th? Only weekdays, 7th to the 19th, weekdays only. And we'll think about it, can you email me? And then I'll get an email out to everybody.
It's only 6 people.
On Wednesday, there's only 6 people.
I mean, we can get a date.
Try for Wednesday.
Can we do Thursday instead of Wednesday?
Sure.
I can't do the 14th of June, and I don't think I can do the 13th of June.
July.
Or July, I'm sorry.
Just make sure.
How about,
I am looking at my July.
Okay.
19th. 19th.
I could do the 19th.
what time? What time?
3.
3 o'clock? 3:30.
What's better? 3 or 3:30.
Well, if we meet at the front at 3, we get the hard hats on and all that, and we get you in by
Okay, so
3:30.
we'll meet in the front lobby at 3. Yes?
It'll be about an hour.
Mr. Clapper, will be about an hour?
About an hour.
About an hour.
About an hour. Okay. Probably easy. So we'll meet, do you want us to meet at the fence or in the front lobby?
We can meet right in the front lobby.
Front lobby. Front lobby, KHS, 3 p.m., Tuesday the 19th. And we'll inform our absolute colleagues. That's the tour guide.
For we that will not do that, I'm trying to hook up with them.
Mr. Clapper,
If any board members who can't, if you just call Camille, and Camille and I will arrange, whether it be Mr. Clapper or Robin Scordamus, or someone will get an opportunity for a board member to go through it. Yeah. I usually just call Tom while I'm on my way over, and it's going in.
okay, yes, sir.
I forgot my own that.
Any other new business? Board member announcements? Board member announcements? Okay, I have, first is, in the next week, I will get out to you all of the committee assignments from this past year, and a questionnaire to ask you if you're chairing the committee, do you wish to continue to chair the committee, and ask you to prioritize. Choose 3 committees, doesn't mean you're going to be assigned to 3, but choose 3 and make them 1, 2, 3 according to your preference, so that we can populate all of the committees through the year. That's the first. And it escapes me the second is, so I'm not going to waste your time. Absolutely.
Just one quick announcement for people who weren't here. Mrs. Shear was unanimously voted in as to return as the president of the Board of Education, and Reverend Childs was unanimously voted in as the vice president of the Board of Education for the 16-17 school year. I know there weren't a lot of people here at the beginning. I really just said that for Mr. Kimball. I know he wasn't.
I kind of figured it out.
I don't take anything for granted. I want to make sure this is clearly stated.
Such a wonderful reporter.
I have an amazing eye for the
I
audience.
say. Wow.
Captain Obvious.
And I would just like to thank the board for your vote, for your consideration. We'll do the best that we can. Laura will do all the work, and I'll walk you.
Carry my book.
Carry your books.
I would like to thank you for the process. It's been a privilege to serve, and I'm very happy to continue. Thank you. And now we come to the portion of the meeting where we welcome public participation. Again, is there anyone that would like to address the board? Please approach the microphone and speak directly in. Our friends at home, 2 minutes.
So, I just wanted, I have to add my congratulations, those members to the board, to the administration, Dr. P, and everybody else. Those numbers are really, really gratifying to hear. It's been a long time and a lot of focus for this district, and it's clear that the initiatives that are being put in place are working, and I think the trajectory will just get higher. So thank you all for that.
Anyone else who would like to address the board? With no need for a second executive session, but a reminder, anyone who hasn't handed in or has handed in but it's been misplaced, the board evaluations, please get them in as soon as possible so that we can spend executive session on the 20th discussing board self-evaluation. And entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. And happy birthday.
That's all.
For it.
I really
Thank you
like
very
to
much.
short, itemize the bullet points. We don't digress. Any questions? No? Great, I'm going. How do I clone several screens? And I take Oh, yes.
So I finished the salt. We had the early package on the salt.
Yeah, I don't.
Phase 2 is all the class.
Everyone's like, so I walked in there. I feel like today I'm like,
We're under about $11 million.
he's like today, I'm like, why? I
See my new glasses? Do you like them? Yes. John calls me Sally Jessica Raphael. I'm like, have you so taken this place? Whatever. Yes, I'm so. 2 years now. Well, so I need it for distance. I knew I needed it for distance, but I've also been like doing this with my cell phone lately, and I told him I tested something just a little bit with Farsight. So he's like, probably so you don't stream. Because you probably could get for nothing for real. But you might wanna just see that stream it. He's like, don't worry, you won't see the line. There's no lines in them anymore. No, I'm like, see? I don't have to wear them all the time, but, you know, he said to get used to them.
Yeah, I can see you got just a touch blurry. And then strain. And
that's it.
And that's why he
That's
said
it.
that's why I wear them.
So he says, wear them off and on, as much as you can, just to get used to it. You know?
Yeah, well, is he driving up?
What?